He was an experienced electrician, and the board employed him in November to make some repairs on the school lighting system. He had ample opportunity then to plant the explosives and lay the wires for touching it off.
It's true.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's exactly what he did.
Yes.
Kehoe had free access to the school building during the summer vacation of 1926, in and out as he pleased. From mid-1926, he began buying more than a ton of pyrrolitol, which is an incendiary explosive used by farmers during their era for excavation and burning debris.
Right.
So he had an excuse to buy it. I'm a farmer.
I'm a farmer.
In November 1926, he drove to Lansing and bought 2 boxes of dynamite at a sporting goods store.
Nice.
Back in the day when, you could just casually stroll in and buy dynamite. Dynamite was also commonly used on farms, so his purchase of small amounts of explosives at different stores and on different dates did not raise any suspicions.
You imagine if they sold them in convenience stores. Be like, I'll take the 6-pack here. Give me a pack of...
Give me a 12-pack of dynamite.
12-pack of dynamite. And, no, you say that last. Like, give me a pack of cigarettes. Give me this. You grab a Laffy Taffy and put it on there. You just look around and be like, 12-pack of dynamite.
No. Give me one on the bottom, Joe.
No, not that one. No, I know what you motherfuckers do. Put the ones in front. Give me the one all the way in the back.
Neighbors reported hearing explosions set off on the farm, with one calling him the dynamite farmer.
Uh-oh.
But they didn't go there and investigate what the hell he was doing. You didn't have permits.
Following the disaster, it was reported that Michigan State Police had discovered that a considerable amount of dynamite had been stolen from a bridge construction site, and that Andrew Kehoe was suspected of that theft. Why would they suspect him of it? Investigators also...
This is after the disaster, so now they're like, he probably stole it.
Right. Investigators also recovered a container of gasoline in the school's basement. The container was rigged. The container was rigged with a tube, and investigators speculated that Kehoe had planned that the gasoline fumes would ignite from a spark scattering burning gas. Yeah.
From a spark.
Yeah, like the furnace or anything like that, right?
In the undamaged section of the school, it was found that Kehoe had concealed the explosives in 6 lengths of eaves trough pipe, 3 bamboo fishing rods, and what were described as windmill rods that were placed in the basement ceiling.
Ooh.
Kehoe purchased a .30 caliber Winchester bolt-action rifle in December of 1926, according to the testimony of Lieutenant Lyle Morse, who was a Michigan State police investigator with the Department of Public Safety. Okay, so now he's got a gun.
All right, prior to 18th of May... Kehoe had loaded the back seat of his truck with metal debris capable of producing shrapnel during an explosion. He also bought a new set of tires for his truck to avoid breaking down when transporting the explosives. How do you know?
It's like his radiator and shit's smoking, and his engine smoking. He's like, you know what? New set of tires should do it.
He goes to the tire place. Hey, give me the best tires to transport explosives.
Or it's like back in the day when they recommended like heroin and shit for ailments. Like they were so stupid back then. An engine smoking. They're like, new set of tires should do it.
New set of tires should take care of that smoky engine right away.
Stupid.
And then you get down the road after new set of tires, you're like, damn. Tell you what, it might be those damn wiper blades.
Everybody that wants a serious podcast right now is cursing us out, and they just probably just threw their phone across the room. We're new set of tires.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Right.
He made many trips to Lansing for more explosives, as well as to the school, the town, and to his house. So that's why he wanted new tires, I guess. Ida Hall, who lived in a house next to the school, saw activity around the building on different nights during May. Early one morning after midnight, she saw a man carrying objects inside. She also saw vehicles around the building several times late at night. Vehicles? Hall mentioned these events to a relative, but they were never reported to the police.
Well, Hall, you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. Nellie was discharged from Lansing's
And relative's an idiot, too.
Right. Nellie was discharged from Lansing St. Lawrence Hospital on May 16th. And was murdered by her husband sometime between her release and the bombings, which took place 2 days later.
Dang.
Kehoe put her body in a wheelbarrow at the rear of the farm's chicken coop, where it was found in a heavily charred condition after the farm explosions and fire.
Crazy.
Piled around the cart were silverware and a metal cash box. The ashes of several banknotes could be seen through a slit in the cash box. Oh, so did he think that the banknotes would survive because it was in a metal box?
I don't know. Maybe.
Didn't take into account there's slots in it.
Why would he care, though?
For relatives or something? I don't know. The barrier? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Why would he put it there, though? And silverware?
Why did he do anything?
I think he'd put them there because he thought somebody would benefit from the silverware. He could sell it and then he'd cash. Anyways, Keogh placed and wired homemade pyrotol firebombs in the house and throughout the farm buildings. The only thing that stands of his house after that was the chimney.
Approximately 8:45 Wednesday, May 18th, Kehoe detonated the firebombs in his house and farm buildings, causing some debris to fly into a neighbor's poultry brooding house.
Oh, jeez.
Damn chickens. Neighbors noticed the fire and volunteers rushed to the scene. O.H. Bush and several other men crawled through a broken window of the farmhouse in search of survivors. When they found no one was in the house, they salvaged what furniture they could.
What a bunch of helpful neighbors, right? They were like, Kehoe's not home.
Right.
He don't know his house is burning down. We're going to salvage some of his shit for him.
That's badass.
Right.
Nice. But, yeah, they salvaged as much furniture as they could before the fire spread into the living room. Bush discovered dynamite in the corner. Oh, shit. He picked up an armful of explosives and handed it to one of the men. Kehoe left the burning property in his Ford truck. He stopped to tell those fighting the fire that they should get to the school and then drove off. Wow. What a dick.
So he's like, this ain't the only fire you're about to fight here, but...
Like, for you, I won't worry about that shit.
Yeah, don't worry about that one. Classes at Bath Consolidated School began at 8:30 a.m. Kehoe had set an alarm clock in the basement of the north wing of the school, which detonated the dynamite and pyrotol he had hidden there at about 8:45 a.m., right when he was burning his house down.
Oh, jeez.
Rescuers heading to the scene of the Kehoe farm fire heard the explosion at the school building, then turned back in that direction. Parents within the rural community rushed to the school. Everybody could see it. It's only a little 300-person town, dude.
Yeah.
The school building resembled a war zone with 38 people killed in the initial explosion, mostly children.
Jeez. That's just terrible. Wow. Witnesses and survivors were interviewed afterwards by newspaper reporters. First grade teacher Bernice Sterling told the Associated Press that the explosion was like an earthquake. The air seemed to be full of children and flying desks and books. Oh, jeez. Children were tossed high in the air. Some were catapulted out of the building. Damn. Eyewitness Robert Gates said the scene was pure chaos. Mother after mother came running into the schoolyard, demanding information about their child. Seeing the lifeless form lying on the lawn, sobbed and swooned. In no time, more than 100 men were at work, tearing away the debris, and nearly as many women were frantically pawing over the timber and broken bricks for traces of their children.
Jeez, dude, imagine that sight.
I don't
want to either. One said, I saw more than one woman lift clusters of bricks held together by mortar heavier than the average man could have handled without a crowbar. Ellsworth recounted, I saw one mother, Miss Eugene Hart, sitting on the bank for a short distance from the school with a little dead girl on each side of her and holding a little boy. Jeez. Percy, who died a short time after they got him to the hospital. Oh, little boy was named Percy, who died a short time after they got him to the hospital. This is about the time Kehoe blew his car up in the street, severely wounding Perry, the oldest child of Mr. and Mrs. Hart. Jeez, dude.
Oh, Pete. He's sitting there in his car watching this shit, and then he blew up his own.
Yep.
Wow.
We haven't even got to the car blow up part yet, but this is just a quote from somebody.
Right.
North wing of the school had collapsed, leaving the edge of the roof on the ground. Ellsworth recalled that there was a pile of children, about 5 or 6, under the roof.
Jeez.
He volunteered to drive back to his farm and get a rope heavy enough to pull the school roof off the children's bodies.
I mean, what else are you going to do?
A lot of damage, I guess. Returning to his farm, he saw Kehoe driving in the opposite direction, so Kehoe's not even at the school yet.
Oh.
Heading towards the school. He grinned and waved his hand. Jeez.
Oh, man.
Ellsworth said, when he grinned, I could see both rows of his teeth. That's how hard he was smiling. You bastard, dude.
Wow, dude. Kehoe drove up to the school about half an hour after the first explosion. He saw Superintendent Hook and summoned him over to his truck. He's like, hey, what's going on here, man? Charles Hawson testified at the inquest that he saw the two men grapple over some type of long gun, he said, before Kehoe detonated dynamite stored in his truck, immediately killing himself and Hook. Nelson McFerrin, a retired farmer, and Cleo Clayton, an 8-year-old second grader. Oh, jeez. Clayton had survived the first blast and then wandered out of the school building. He was killed by fragmentation from the exploding vehicle. Wow.
Oh, Cleo thought he was safe, huh?
Right.
The truck explosion spread debris over a large area and caused extensive damage to cars parked half a block away, with the roof catching on fire from the burning gas. It injured several others and mortally wounded Postmaster Glenn O. Smith, who lost a leg and died before making it to a hospital.
Not Postmaster.
O.H. Bush recalled that one of his crew bound up the quote-unquote wounds of Glenn Smith, the postmaster. His leg had been blown off.